Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube and, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, get all of our great content, including coming up here in the month of August, previews of each of the 8 NFL divisions. We will give you our division winner predictions, best bets for futures, and, of course, our Super Bowl prediction, all of that throughout the month of August. We invite you to just kind of subscribe to our channel. You'll get that on there, as well as the Captain Lou Extravaganza Facebook page if you follow that as well. We are on X at The Real Captain Lou. And, of course, all of our shows live, our archive shows, are brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network. And that, of course, is SeatGeek. If there's a game you want to go to, the Tigers this weekend with a dramatic win last night over the Angels. They're going to play again tonight. The Lions with preseason games, and then coming into the regular season, any other regular season game that you want, any major league team, minor league, you name it. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou for $20 off your next purchase. It is that simple. It's free money. Why not? So go to the official secondary market of the Extravaganza and the Captain Lou Sports Network. That, of course, is SeatGeek, and use the promo code Captain Lou, $20 off your first purchase. Wow, kind of a crazy scene for Detroit sports fans last night. First, the Tigers. The Tigers, Tariq Skubal, you think he's on the mound, he's automatic. Well, he may have had an off night last night. Things didn't get going so good for Skubal. First batter up. First, I think it was the second batter. Ball 3 call that really got under his skin. You could read his lips. I'm not going to repeat it here. Not a family type viewing letter or word, that is. He gave up 4 runs through 5 innings, I believe it was. And the Tigers all of a sudden were down 4-3 after getting out to a 3-1 lead, thanks to a double RBI from Javi Baez. But in the 8th inning, Detroit, and it kind of looked like things weren't going so good. But Matt Vierling, who, I got to admit, I've been on here before. I've said, hey, I just don't know what the love affair is with Matt Vierling and A.J. Hinch. But boy, did he prove me wrong with a bomb to left field, taking victory out of the jaws of defeat for the Tigers. They went ahead 6-5. And then the Scott Harris acquisition. That's right. According to about 80% of Tigers fans in Detroit, Scott Harris didn't do anything right. Kyle Finnegan came in, an acquisition at the trade deadline, shut the door on the Angels for his 3rd save in 3 appearances for the Tigers. A huge comeback win for them. I know it's just 1, but after a poor showing against the Twins and things not looking good for the Tigers, they get a comeback win, 6-5 over the Angels. The Guardians rather, are red hot. They won again last night, 9-5 over the Twins. So Detroit, with that win, keeping a 6-game lead over the Guardians in the AL Central. And don't look now, but the Guardians are knocking on the door for a potential wild card spot. Eerily similar to our Tigers from last year, wasn't it? Well, anyways, the Tigers get back in action tonight as they'll take on the Angels. Charlie Morton, one of the other acquisitions for the Tigers at the deadline. He's going to take on Kikuchi. You say Kikuchi. First pitch will be at 6:10 local time. So chance for the Tigers to go up 2-0 in the weekend set, try to at least maintain that lead over the Guardians. Elsewhere in Major League Baseball last night, the Yankees lost again. And as we take a look at the Major League standings, is there any possibility that the Yankees could actually miss the American League playoffs? Right now, they are clinging to a half-game lead over the Cleveland Guardians for the last playoff spot. 2 months ago, I would have said you're crazy. They were leading the division, but the Blue Jays with a 3-game lead over the surging Red Sox. The Yankees, 6.5 games back in the division. But as we mentioned, they've only got now a half-game lead for the 3rd and final wild card spot over the Cleveland Guardians. It's absolutely insane. The Blue Jays, we mentioned, 3 games up on the Red Sox. The Red Sox playing great baseball right now, 65-52, and the Yankees 6.5 back at 61-55. I'll tell you what, the lynch mob is getting set up in the Bronx right now for the Yankees. Tigers, we mentioned, a 6-game lead over the Guardians in the Central. The Kansas City Royals, 9.5 games back at 57 and 59. The Astros, 65 and 51, but their lead is still just a game and a half over the Mariners, as the Mariners have won 5 straight. They're at 64 and 53. And the Rangers, they're only a game and a half back of the Yankees for that wild card spot as well. They're 60 and 57. They've lost a couple of straight. In the National League, the Phillies have opened up a 3.5 game lead over the struggling New York Mets. Mets losing 5 straight. The Phillies won last night. They're at 66 and 49. And no better team right now in Major League Baseball than the Brew Crew. The Milwaukee Brewers, 71 and 44, 7-game win streak for the Brewers. And they've got a 5-game lead over the Cubs right now. The Cubs, 66 and 49. And in the West, the Dodgers, their lead back up to 3 games over the Padres. They won last night. The Padres lost. The Dodgers at 67 and 49. So some interesting races starting to shape up with a little over 6 weeks left in Major League Baseball, especially in the American League. Over to football, down in Atlanta yesterday, the Lions and the Falcons, their first preseason game yesterday, and of course the Lions with their second after getting humbled in the Hall of Fame game by the Los Angeles Chargers. The Lions took on the Falcons, and the Lions were up 17-0. And the Falcons, we had the ball in the fourth quarter, right about the beginning of the fourth quarter. Then a scary incident, just an awkward hit. And Morris Norris took a bad hit. You could see his head snap back and hit the ground super hard. He laid motionless. The game was stopped. Just brings chills to you. It's the thing that nobody wants to see in any kind of sport, where everybody's just helpless. Kudos, hats off to the Atlanta Falcons training staff who got out there first, and of course the Lions, and they stopped play. They had to get the ambulance out, got him on the board, got him out of there, sent him to the hospital right away. Reports this morning are he's in stable condition. He's got movement in all of his extremities. It brings chills to you. You see it more and more now in football, especially. The players are bigger, stronger, and faster. Yeah, I don't know what else you could do to prevent things like this. They just play with such, with just a fervor. You see it at all levels. It's not just at the pro level. It's at the college level. I saw it a few years ago with the high school games that I broadcast here in Michigan for Freeland High School, a team that they played. Their quarterback ran into the end zone, just took an awkward fall, nobody's fault, and he laid motionless in the end zone, and it turned your stomach, and I have gotten such a bigger amount of respect for Raheem Morris for what he did yesterday. He suggested just let the game clock run out. There was no reason to play the rest of that game last night. They let the clock run down. Finally, they suspended it. It's a preseason game. You could see both teams, they just weren't in it. And when the game really is meaningless, especially what they do in preseason now, where hardly any of the starters play, it's more just for the backups and for guys looking to make the team. It doesn't count in the standings. And their hearts weren't in it. I just think it was a class move by Raheem Morris to suggest finishing it, not just playing. I mean, letting the clock run out, not finish the game. And it was brought up by Dan Campbell. He tipped his hat to Raheem Morris as well. And our hearts, our thoughts and prayers go out to Morris Norris for a full recovery. It looks like things are good so far. He's breathing on his own. He was alert. He put something on Instagram, I believe, praising God. So it could have been a lot worse. And all you could think of if you're a Lions fan, of course, Mike Utley from 30-some years ago, a friend of mine on Facebook, RJ Gazzetti, brought that up. He was at that game. Those of us that were around back then in the early 90s when the Lions made that run, that was something that we weren't used to seeing when he got paralyzed in that game way back 34 years ago. So it happens more than we care to really admit or whatever that we would like. That's just the nature of the game. And, I'm sure Norris will try to make a comeback. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to pro athletes and athletes in general. And so this is what they grew up doing. It's their love. It's their passion. So we'll keep an eye on that. As far as the game went, the Lions did win 17-10. Isaac Tesla with a big grab in the end zone. Well, that could turn out to be a steal of a draft pick for the Lions. I know it's early. I know it's preseason, but he looks good. I think he's got a heck of a shot at least getting to the number 3 receiver slot, adding to a loaded receiver core in Motown. It's just another exciting weapon that the Lions can get used to seeing on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays in the regular season. So really looking forward to that. Before we end things, again, I want to remind you that we are brought to you, as always, by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, and the extravaganza that is SeatGeek. There's a game you want to go to, I suggest getting tickets fast for the Lions if you're a Lions fan. I looked yesterday again at the Thanksgiving Day game prices. Oh, my goodness, they're up there. But they're going to keep going with the success of the Lions, and especially when it's the Packers coming to Turkey Day. So they're going to bring a bunch of fans. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou. Get $20 off that purchase. I mean, I know it's not, compared to what the prices are of the tickets, but it's free money, right? Who doesn't like free money? So go use the promo code Captain Lou. Go to SeatGeek, the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, and of course, the Captain Lou extravaganza. All right, we're going to end here today talking a little bit about preseason football, and I know it's preseason. Yesterday, of course, a lot of the eyes were on Cleveland as they had their opening preseason game. And, of course, they started Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, the 5th-round draft pick. A lot of people surprised he didn't go number 1 or the number 1 quarterback or in the first round. And, he looked good yesterday. Now, I get it. It's preseason. I get it. It was against the backups for the most part. But you still got to make the touchdown passes. You still got to make the completions. You still got to run for a first down. And he did nothing but improve his stock yesterday. But one of the things I just don't get, and I admit I'm not a big fan of his. I don't like his antics. I don't understand why his jersey was retired in Colorado. And, of course, with Shedeur Sanders comes prime time. So you're going to get it shoved in your face. I totally get it. What I don't understand is all the hate that he gets on social media. I mean, we live in a society where you can sit behind a keyboard and just say vicious things, hurtful things, just crazy things. Now, I don't wish anybody to fail. I don't wish anybody to get hurt. I mean, this is a short-lived career in the NFL for the most part. Rare do you see the guys playing for 15 to 20 years. I just, I'm not a fan of his. I don't like his antics. But with that being said, don't ever wish him to get hurt. And, he brings entertainment value. But I just, he did good yesterday. It's only preseason. I get it. But I guess the reason I'm bringing it up is I read the venom on social media. And it's not just with him. It just gets worse and worse. And I just don't understand it. And it makes me look in the mirror and think, man, is it really worth being such a negative Nelly? That's why with the Tigers, they're in a slump, whatever. They're still ahead by 6 games. Enjoy it. Enjoy that they're in first place. Look at the good stuff with Sanders, all right? It's like he said to one of the reporters, what have I ever done to you bad? And he's right. And so I don't know. I'm not going to root. Obviously, I'm not a Browns fan. I'm not going to root for him to fail. I don't have a dog in that fight. It's entertainment value for me to talk about stuff like this, but I just don't understand the hate. The jabs, some of the stuff that's on social media. So, anyways, it's a good wake up call for that. Just be happy, everybody. All right. Okay. I'm off my soapbox. I'm going to get ready to enjoy a Saturday afternoon by the pool and just hang out with the beautiful people. And now that, of course, is you. All right, everybody. Thanks for taking time out to welcoming us into your homes, on your laptops, on your iPhones, however you watched us around the world, right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network and another edition of the Captain Lou Extravagant Few Minutes. Again, a reminder before we leave, though. Don't forget, starting next week, we're going to do all of our previews, all 8 divisions of the National Football League. We're going to give you best bets for futures, wins, win totals, and whatnot. Who's going to win the division? And of course, towards the end of August, we'll give you our Super Bowl predictions. And we're also going to preview all the major conferences in college football, give you our college football playoff picks, the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, you name it. We're going to be there. So my suggestion, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Captain Lou Sports Network, and you'll get all of that right at your fingertips. All right, everybody. Captain Lou saying, keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. Until next time, enjoy the day, everybody. So long.